On the outside, I look, I guess, like a typical woman. On the inside, you can see that I definitely am not. I've had very many surgeries since birth. My first surgery was at 5 hours old. I was born with a hole in my heart. My food pipe was actually connected into my air pipe going into my lungs. I only have 1 kidney instead of 2. I have 2 uteruses and 1 ovary. Most people have a rectum. I don't actually have one of those, so it's basically like my intestine has been brought to the surface. This has left me incontinent, but it won't stop me from achieving my dreams. The VACTERL Association is an acronym that stands for vertebral, anal, cardiac, tracheal, esophageal, and renal and limb abnormalities that affects 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 40,000 births. Each abnormality has affected me in a different way. So for the V for vertebral, I have had HEMIVERTEBRAL, which is partially formed vertebra, an extra lumbar vertebra, which has made me extra tall, congenital scoliosis, which is curvature of my spine, but I've had sacral agenesis, which is missing bones in the base of my spine, and that unfortunately has led to some missing nerves in my pelvis. But I was actually born with a CLOACA, which is 1 single opening. So I had my urethra, 2 vaginas, and my colon all coming into that 1 single opening. I actually can't have any indication of when I need to go to the bathroom. I was born with a hole in my heart. So this was able to heal without any surgical intervention, thankfully.
I was first told about Anja's condition when I was 28 weeks pregnant, and the midwife saw that I was growing faster than I should, and that's always a worrying sign, apparently. And so she asked if I'd have an ultrasound. So I went to have an ultrasound straight away, and they couldn't find Anja's stomach. I thought, wow, that's pretty heavy. I thought, you know, the baby was going to die. And they said, look, we've got somebody really good here who's a specialist in these sorts of things, and he's on duty tomorrow. So he identified immediately that she had VACTERL Association. She was taken over to surgery and went through about 5 hours of surgery on that very first day of life. And for me as a mother, it was very difficult. To have your child whisked away.
They joined my food pipe to my stomach, they disconnected it from my air pipe, and that's when they actually made my colostomy and my vesicostomy so I could get waste out of my body. Without this surgery, I basically would have died immediately and would have had no chance at survival. I had my reconstruction at 7 months. They cut from front to back and made all 3 pelvic openings. And then shortly after that, I had my colostomy and my vesicostomy, so those bags for the bowel and bladder. I had them reversed so I could actually start to function out of my pelvic openings.
We had, I think, 50 admissions to hospital in those first 4 years of life. Every time she went in for surgery, I would panic until I heard she was out.
All of these surgeries that I had as a child had such a significant impact on me now, because it meant that the chances of me having an abdominal surgery for anything made it so high risk. I met this absolutely incredible surgeon. He went in and divided all of those adhesions and removed this growth by, at this stage, it was 10 by 13 centimeters. Moving forward to 2020, I had another surgery, a FUNDOPLICATIon. This is a surgery that they do for reflux. So I've always had really bad reflux since I was a child. Unfortunately, in this time, I lost quite a significant amount of weight. Now I basically just eat everything orally, and I'm just trying to eat as much as I possibly can so I can get that weight gain.
I remember when she was little, I said, do you feel bad that you can't do a lot of things? And she said, look, I can't wait until I'm well to do things, so I just have to get on and do them. And I thought, wow, that's an amazing attitude. She was like 7 or 8 years old, and she'd already decided that she just had to get on and have a life because she couldn't wait.
I first decided I wanted to get into modelling when I was about 14 or 15, and I just saw that there was so much potential to represent my community. It was definitely difficult because my scars put up like an incredible barrier. I was first told that I was never going to be able to model to show my stomach with my scars. And I was able to work really, really hard and persist. And I was able to get to, Amsterdam Fashion Week within a year of getting my first modelling contract. I've had some incidences, unfortunately, where I've actually passed out at shoots and really struggled. And that really had nothing to do with the fact that I was modelling, but more to do with the fact that I was running myself into the ground because I was pushing my body too far. You've always been by my side throughout all of it. You've lived it with me. You really have. And it's like I would not know what to do without you. I absolutely dedicate so much of that support to my mum. She taught me so much, and especially, about resilience and about my condition, and that it was not something to be ashamed of. It was not some sad story. I felt equipped to transform, a pretty crappy set of circumstances at times into something that is a really strong purpose in my life to drive forward, positive change in the system from my lived experience. I started Champion Health Agency in May 2021. Champion Health Agency is a talent agency for lived experience that is impacting change across all sectors. At the moment, we represent 28 people. Most of them are in Australia, and we've got one person in New Zealand and one person in England. They've all got such diverse and impactful stories. I was thinking about calling it, like the health agency or the patient agency or something. And Champion kind of stood out. We need to transform the way that we think of champions and think of champions as the people that make true change in our society. And I think that really should be people with lived experience. You can actually have a really successful and fulfilling life and, have a huge impact on many other people's lives, and that you have a significant place in society, whether you have a disability or not.
We have 2 trans kids.
Anyone can be whoever they want.
I'm just owning it.
Our family is seen to be very unconventional.
So I had kids and I can't be hot anymore. Like, moms are hot too.
People say I look like a thug, but I love thugs. I take that as a compliment.
I'm bored of people thinking that I cannot be intimate. I'm a young, single, hot piece of disabled booty.
I feel like I'm going to look at myself and be like, who is that?
Life is way too short to be hiding. It is my story. It is my truth.